Welcome back, everyone, and in today's video we're going to discuss how much will you make as a tattoo artist. Now, one thing I can say is that, and yeah, you caught me, so over here creating a tattoo design and everything else like that, but I thought I should go ahead and give you guys this video real quick. So here we are. How much you can expect to make as a tattoo artist, because this is something I get constantly over and over and over again in terms of asked and messages, you name it, is it's up to you. It is up to you how much you'll be able to make as a tattoo artist, right? So with that being said, as I mentioned before in a previous video, that you could be making, you can maybe making $100 a week, or you could be making 15, 20,000 a week. It is completely up to you, literally. And with that being said, there's multiple factors into being able to reach those levels of, 10 plus thousand a month, or much less a week, right? It's pretty crazy. But let's just go for just monthly basis, right? So you could be the starving artist at literally $500 a month, or you could be the artist that's constantly booked out and doing their thing and really doing well for themselves and making 10 plus thousand a month. And something to keep in mind is, just because you make $10,000, right, in tattooing, and let's just say for simplicity purposes, that entire $10,000 is yours. You don't owe 50% to the shop or whatever the case may be. Let's say, for example, you have your own business, you have your own tattoo shop, and so on and so forth. As you know, you still got to pay Uncle Sam. You still got to pay those taxes. So expect a decent amount of that 10,000 to be wiped away completely. So just keep that in mind. Just because you make $10,000 in that month, don't think that entire $10,000 is yours. So there's that. And another thing I will say in terms of how much you can make, I've seen tattoo artists and spoke with different artists that are easily making close to 200,000 a year. So just let that sink in. Close to 200,000 a year. And then I've also spoken with other artists that are only making, about 32,000 a year. So once again, this all comes down to multiple factors, where you're located, how well you're doing in marketing and getting your brand out there and letting yourself be known in your artwork, et cetera, et cetera. Also deals. What kind of deals are you doing? Are you doing deals of, in this time frame, if you get a tattoo, you get the other one half off? So if you do $1,000 tattoo, the next tattoo you give someone will be literally $500. And that could be for them, or it could be for their spouse, whatever, right? That's one deal. That's one pitch. And another pitch you can make is, which this is nothing new, right? Is get what you get. All right. So there's this little like vending machine and everything else like that. You put a tattoo design inside of this little plastic container. It's like stuff that you used to get as a kid, right? Little ball, like a gumball machine almost. You just crank the thing. People go ahead and they insert money in there. They crank it, and then they get what they get for like $150, $200, or you could even set it to where each machine is instead of it being like a $50 tattoo, it could literally be whatever size that they want it to be and at whatever hourly rate. So let's say, for example, one machine says $50. You obviously got to make it very clear, but just say like $50 an hour, $150 an hour, whatever, $100 an hour, etc. Right? Just so that way you could kind of sweeten up the pot and also increase your marketing. So there's that. There's multiple options. There's also the flash tattoo option, which there's multiple ways you could go about that, which I'm not even about to go over all that. I'll go over that in a marketing video. But essentially, all of these methods will help out your overall end goal, which is to make money. That's what you're doing. You're doing what you love, and at the same time, you're getting paid for it. And honestly, you really couldn't ask for much more than that. So there's that. And I would say that if you're in this industry to make a shit ton of money, and that's the only reason why you're in this industry, you're in the wrong field. More than likely, yep, you are in the wrong field. Because don't get it wrong, you can make a good amount of money in literally anything you do. But don't go into it for the sole purposes of making money, right? It's the same way with how I've heard comedians speak about comedy, right? You constantly hear them speak about it all the time. Like, do not go into this industry thinking you're going to make a shit ton of money. Don't go into it for that purpose. Go into it for the purpose of, I enjoy doing this, and if I happen to get paid for doing this, or whatever I get paid for doing this, great. But obviously, tattooing, it's a product, service, you know, I give you this for this type of ordeal. So there's that. But just keep that in mind, is that whatever your purpose is for getting into the tattoo industry, whether that be escaping your 9 to 5, becoming your own boss, becoming your own person, your own man, your own woman, right? You're doing what you love to do, and at the same time, you're still going to get paid for doing it. So there's no greater reward than that. And obviously, you set your own rules and guidelines and everything else like that in terms of how much you get paid an hour and so on and so forth, depending also on what shop you're in. My shop, it's a bare minimum $125 an hour. That's our rate. And obviously, each tattoo artist could go ahead and up it from there based on their skill set, et cetera, but that's up to them. But it's how bad do you want it, right? How bad do you want to do this, to do tattooing? Because that's what we're talking about today, right? But yeah, that pretty much sums up this video, how much you can make. Unfortunately, there isn't a number. There's really not a number to a lot of things out there, right? Even if it is your stereotypical 9 to 5, it's kind of hard to give a particular number. You're able to give a range, duh, but you're not able to necessarily give an exact number per se. But that is the broad range, unfortunately, inside of tattooing. How much you can make as a tattoo artist. Once again, I'll emphasize, you could be the starving artist that literally makes only $500 a year, which, if that's the case, man, you better up your marketing, because damn. Or you could be the tattoo artist that's literally making 150, close to 200,000 a year. It is completely up to you and your drive, your hours that you want to set, how often you want to work, hourly rate, the list goes on and on and on. But that concludes this video. And if there's any more questions, just go ahead and drop them below. Like, comment, subscribe, all the rest of that good stuff. And until next time, take care.